we're at the racetrack as always, and I got a special announcement to make. We're working with Hybridracing for a special giveaway and some Black Friday deals. Sign up on my website, hybridracing.com/Team Eric Catil, and get a chance to win this brand new bell helmet inspired by this race car right here. Every dollar gets you an entry, so once again, sign up online on my link. You get a chance to win this brand new bell helmet. Let's go racing. Final day here at Autobahn. Yesterday we got 2 freaking wins. Race 2, flawless race. I managed to get by Andy Spedgaard in his FRS. And after that, it was just clear sailing. You know, the first few laps I was kind of taking it easy. And then once I got into the groove, I was out. Car's phenomenal right now. I haven't changed anything since race 1. The setup on it is on point. The Falcons, they're doing good. I mean, the amount of like neutral oversteer the car has, and you kind of just like lift off the gas and the car just pivots. It's phenomenal. It's such a good car. You know, Max was talking shit about front wheel drive. Well, I mean, you should probably drive this car. I think it changed his mind. Last day here, we got 2 more races today. And honestly, just do the same thing, man. I got the fastest lap in race 2, which means I'm starting on pole for race 3. So gonna take the inside once again, and then hopefully just kind of hold on to that lead. The awesome news is that we closed in on the championship leader, Matan. If I can get a few more solid finishes, I can even close it up even more. Now the thing is, I have 6 wins, 8 seconds. So I'm maxed out at 14 with a bunch of firsts and a bunch of seconds, which means the only way I can get more points now is if I get more wins. So that's what we're gonna shoot for here today. Try to get maybe 1, maybe 2 more wins. And then at the end of the day, we might even be ahead of Matan in the championship. So yeah, car's all checked over last night. Everything's good. No issues to report. Did a full nut and bolt check. Everything's good to go. So now we're just waiting until race 3. Once again, starting on pole. So let's do it. I'm getting hit already. Thanks, man.
Very good, sir.
Yeah, I got you. Loud and clear.
Sorts of stuff that made the grass in the. Ooh, is there trouble for one of our front-running cars? Is that Tony Marchev in the Corvette that's dropping to the rear? And that is problematic for our 4th place starter. That's heartbreaking. He's been so solid this weekend. Now, the other thing to note here, Mike, you cannot fill that spot. Matt Waldbaum cannot move up forward. They're going to leave the gap in traffic, and will hopefully get Tony Marchev limped back around to the pit lane, but unfortunate.
Not exactly something that you practice for, right, when somebody drops out of that. So good head on his shoulders for Waldbaum. Make sure he doesn't take that spot. It'll make the race start interesting here in a second.
It will. Matt Waldbaum should be able to jump up the inside, maybe come out at turns 2 and 3 in 3rd place. But Eric Catil and Andy Spedgaard, as they battled yesterday and at Live Rock Park in Lakeville, Connecticut last month, were door to door at the start of this race. Here we go. Green flag, and race 3 is underway for Rybach GLTC. 3 wide in the back, but into turn 1. Spedgaard charges hard into turn 1. He wants this lead back.
He really sent that deep. Let's see if he can get the rotation and cover off for turn 3.
Now, a little bit of dust kicked up there by Hiro Pucci. A little bit of smoke and debris. Oh, big slide for Ayrton Grimm. Must be low grip there, leaving Millionaire corner there, but Joe Tulipop's line, Hiro Pucci He's got a problem as well. He's slowing up on the run to turn 4. And now Andy Smedegaard and Catil door to door. Remember that we're down a couple of cameras because of a fiber cut in the track battle sessions. We'll do what we can. Max flying the drone, and they're still side by side off towards turn 6. And Smedegaard clears Catil for the lead.
Catil's still got a little bit of overlap up, and he decides to tuck back in, leading into turn 8 here.
And it took Catil a little while in race 1 to wrestle the lead away from Andy Smedegaard. But when he got in front, he was much quicker. So it really seems like Andy's car is better from the get-go in that 212, maybe by virtue of having a bit more weight to get those tires up to temp faster. But once they reach their peak, that Hybridracing EG Civic is absolutely electric. And in behind, Matt Waldbaum has gotten around Matan Rosenberg. And for Rosenberg, he needs to play defense here a little. I know he's going to Laguna Seca and will likely pick up some wins out in California. But if Catil wins more races here this weekend, the championship fight's going to be real tight going into pit race.
Absolutely. It looks like we're getting a little bit of gap between first and second. I've noticed a very different line going into turn 8. Different braking zone, basically, for Smedegaard compared to Catil. And that worked well for him in the earlier races. Let's see if it pays off here. Matan's going for a move.
Yeah, he went around the outside there to Waldbaum towards 1. And you see the back of that shot. Looking for a look on the outside of the number 90, but Andy Smedegaard in this FA24 slot car. He joked with me last night that I could have it for 50 grand. And as far as front-running GLTC cars go, that's actually pretty affordable. I mean, the drivers that are at the very pointy end of this field, they will spend up to 6 figures building their car. You don't need to do that, as shown by Andy, but drivers take a lot of pride in these builds, Mike.
I promise you can't build that car for that, so that'd be a great deal for you.
there's the gap bottom of your screen there between Smedegaard and Kittil. It's 2.3 seconds right now, and Andy has just set sail. But look there's your battle for third. Baton Rosenberg and that Falcon Corvette leading the championship standings coming into this event. But again, with Kittil just chipping away, more wins in the wins column now for Kittil. That puts him at, what, 6 total on the season compared to the 8 that Rosenberg has. 2 more today would tie them up.
Just driving that average down like you were talking about, right?
Yeah, and of course, for average finishes, Kittil is better. So if they match wins, full course yellow now. That's interesting to note. We haven't had a full course yellow this weekend in Ibach GLTC, so not sure what that's for. But with only 6.5 minutes to go, so the pace car's already picked up Eric Kittil. And let's have a look. Ronald Till leaving turn 3. Ooh, that looks like it could be motor. See Zach Lavoie there in the smoke screen. Again, happy birthday to his mom. But dodged out of the smoke there. Robin Bierhoff did the same.
No, he's driving in front of it like an idiot. I think he's intentionally stalling so he can get it under caution. No, he's speeding up. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening now, but he's just gapping us. Alright, I think he's finally slowing down. Racing the base car into the chicane. I don't know what the f he's doing.
I don't think Andy likes seeing him out of pass him, even when it's a pace car. It's like...
Well, let's see here. There's all sorts of jokes about Andy pacing the field, I suppose, isn't there, that we can make?
There we go.
There he is. And lights are still on. So the 212 leads the way here. Andy Smedegaard is going to have to hold off Eric Kittil, because I think we're going to get a lap of racing in here. Lights are out on the safety car. Time to go racing here. Again, an Ibach GLTC race number 3. Packed up and ready to go. Kittil chasing a championship. Smedegaard chasing another win sticker as they come up onto the front straightaway. Here we go. Will we get 1 lap or will we get 2? It is going to be 1 lap dash. White flag and green. And we're underway here. And here comes Kittil up the outside. Mike, he's going to try to steal this one away from the 212. But here comes Rosenberg, his championship rival.
I wonder if he's going to try it into 3 here. If he can get the run. Yeah, he's trying to put his car in place. Maybe an up and under.
Trying to over-under there. Andy, nice run there through turn 3. Chatroop and Grimm side by side. Grimm trying to hold off that spot. They thunder into turn 4. Kittil a little slideways there. Rear end stepping out on him. But he's within 2 car lengths of that GT86.
This is so much pressure for these drivers when you know you've got 1 lap to get this done. Your tires aren't at the temperatures they were at, but you've still got to sling it through the corner and not leave a door open.
Yeah, big stack up there for about 8th spot as Chatroop had a look at Eric and Grimm but had to back out of it. So those cars just trying to sneak up the insides of each other. Heading down to turn 8 for the final time. 3 car lengths between Smedegaard and Kittil, but Kittil has to be careful. Offense could end up being defense here with Rosenberg right there.
Yeah, Andy just looks so fast through turn 8. Puts on a lot of gap through that space. He's really got that corner figured out.
Dust kicked up in the background. A couple cars charging at each other into turns 9 and 10, but all looks fair and clean for now. Kittil has nothing for Andy Smedegaard this time through as they thunder down the back straightaway for the final time in Ibach GLTC Race 3. Rosenberg closing in on Kittil. That might be the battle we have to follow all the way back to the checkers, Mike.
Yeah, through 13-14. We've seen him going too wide all weekend long for that. I don't think it's going to happen this time.
Andy Smedegaard comes on through. This time it's a dominant performance by the 212 ASM FRS. Checkered flag. Andy Smedegaard wins race 3. Kittil, 2nd place. Rosenberg right behind him. Then Matt Walbaum, Lena Chin, Blake Porter. Oh! Andy spins at turn 1 in celebration and loops it.
I remember seeing him do that at Lime Rock, throwing the little drift action in.
Yeah, my rear tires were like, oh, he just got out. Yeah, my rear tires were pretty cold. I had like no confidence, and I almost lost it at the exit of 6. That was kind of weird. I thought I warmed them up enough, but I guess I didn't. Alright, P2. Doesn't really help in the season championship, but good for the weekend. Dude, I hope he flat spotted those tires. That'd be hilarious. He was fast. I don't know, he spun out at the end of the race. Good race. You are such a goober.
I know. My e-brake stuck up.
Do you have a button that's supposed to release or not?
It's supposed to stay down. It's a drift button, but I had my thumb on there and it clicked up and stayed up.
Well, I hope you flat spotted your tires for the last race. Did you see the pace car, or were you trying to extend the caution?
I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, I know.
I knew what was going on. They missed me. And
Yeah.
For a while, I'm like, where the f are they? Oh, it's in the
Dude.
beginning. I'm gonna make them just like.
Dude, she came out so fast in front of me. I was like, wow, because dude, you crossed the start finish. It was caution immediately, and then the pace car jumped out.
I saw it happen. I saw the
Crazy.
accident on the other side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, this is gonna be caution. The race has been, and I didn't see them pull out. I knew it was gonna be a full course. I could see the full course on the other side of the track. And then they didn't come out. I'm like, yeah.
It's something that people are posting up Rush Autoworks told me is that they're so easy to drive. You can see it easy to drive, maybe not control. But easy to drive, hard to feel is I think this is really my term because you have to get so comfortable with it.
Wait, you get to pick the dice? Wait, I only got plain white ones.
Yeah, 'cause
These are fun.
what do you want? These are the newest ones.
What's the numbers?
4 to 10. 0 is 10.
Really? No, that's a reroll. You picked
4.
this guy.
That works out for you, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. P2, that last one. Pretty good race. Yeah, Andy just drove the wheels off that car. I don't think I really went any slower. If anything, I felt like I had just slightly less confidence in the car than I did yesterday. Yesterday, the car was dialed in. Today, the conditions were a little bit greasy. So the car was kind of loose in a few corners and then pretty tight in the tight stuff. But yeah, I mean, I still ran a pretty good lap time, 31.9. But Andy was just out. He checked out and he just drove away. He did a bunch of 31.6s. So even if I did have the confidence to run a consistent lap time, I don't think I would have caught him because he was fine. But I did have the confidence that my car would continue to get better as the race progressed. And unfortunately, we had a caution. Unfortunately, the guys that were swapping the engine into that green E30, they left the oil drain plug a little loose and oiled the track down. So that's a bummer. But yeah, we had a green-white checkered, and as you would expect, the track was pretty slick because of the oil. So it was really loose going into 4, and then I almost lost it in 6, and then turn 8, it kind of snapped. And after that, I was like, you know what? There's no point in pushing. I'm not going to catch Andy, sell for second place, and I'll be happy with it. Unfortunately, the second place isn't going to help me in the season championship anymore. I'm at the point where I have 6 wins and 8 seconds, and those are my top 14 results. So getting more seconds isn't really going to help. I have to get wins. But we have one more chance, race 4 coming up in about, I don't know, a few hours. And we have a top 4 invert, which means I'm starting 3rd on the inside row, and that's key because that inside around turn 1 and 2 is so nice on the race starts. So yeah, we're gonna see if I can maybe try to squeak out another win in this invert, and then if anything, maybe just get a solid finish. Hopefully get ahead of Andy so I can take the weekend win. But right now, full focus on the season championship. But also, I want to make sure this car gets home on the trailer in one piece. So if there's any big risks, you know, I'm probably not going to take them. But anyway, I'm going to probably think if I need to make any setup changes. But really, I think I just got to drive a little bit better. So one more to go. It's been a fantastic weekend, honestly. I barely touched this car. The car has just been so...
Time Attack Podium Sprint.
The car is just...
Again, Time Attack, our friends in Podium Sprint. We have a driver's meeting at Podium at 12:10.
The car has been just so reliable. It's honestly incredible. I built an absolute machine, and it just proves, you know, like the effort that we put into this car in the off season to make it reliable, like level up all the electronics, all the reliability, has really paid off this season because we just continue to have fantastic race finishes. Every race this year has been a top 5 finish. We probably knocked the average finish down to like a 2.3 something. It's incredible. It's honestly, it's really incredible. I'm really proud of the car. I'm really proud of my efforts, and it's been a good year. And regardless of what happens with the season championship or the weekend championships, I am happy of our performance this season. So, like I said, we still got pit race coming up after that's the final event, but I think it's been a great season so far. But anyway, one more race to go. Let's try to get another win. race 4, top 4 invert, starting P3. Let's see what we can do. I don't see Andy anywhere. Andy's always famously late to grid. Hey Tom, where's Andy at?
I don't know. Oh, he just rolled up early.
Fashionably late. Took 25 pounds out of the car since we're usually 50 pounds over in the scale, so hopefully that helps a little bit.
There's a lot of stressors. There's a lot of poking and weaving that you can do to try and upset the driver in front of you, so I'll be interested to see if that plays out.
Matt Waldbaum has selected driver's right for the start. We'll see if your call of driver's left was the move. It'll be Matan Rosenberg up on the front row in the 484 Chevrolet Corvette. Here we go. Eibach Grid Life Touring Cup Race 4 underway at Autobahn Country Club. Grid Life Chicagoland. 3 wide in the back of the field into turn 1 though. Rosenberg on the outside. Waldbaum's going to clear, and here comes Cattell for second place. Critical pass for him in that championship hunt.
Well, I was very wrong right off the start.
Well, I think Cattell is stoked that you're wrong because he's now second place and has Rosenberg behind him. 3 cars off the racetrack. Robbie Veer on the back, Ronald Till in the back, and Tony Marchev dodges and weaves. Everyone gets out of there okay now, but we head down to turn number 5, and now under fire is Rosenberg for third place because that is the 212 of Andy Smedegaard.
Man, what happened there? That's a huge gap in just a couple of corners. Is something hurt with Matan? He looks like he's nursing through there.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like he's got the speed on this opening lap for sure. Struggling a bit. Now Cattell is all over the back of Matt Waldbaum. And Matt and Eric, again, I think they've got a friendship off the racetrack. Saw them chatting last night, but Eric Cattell is not going to wait around. He would love to go 3 for 4 this weekend and make as big of a dent as possible in the championship points here heading into Laguna Seca.
Hey, poke that nose inside. He didn't really have overlap, but Matt gave him room anyways. That's the kind of racing we like to see. And it looks like Cattell got a really good run onto 10 here.
Now down the backstretch, side by side. On the wrong side of the road if he wants this lead, but the track will come back to him here at the left at turn 12.
He's made this work.
The curb, and Cattell, to your point, Mike, made it work, and he takes the lead.
Andy hunting now. Friends, teammates. Andy sets up the car, builds the car. I know Matt does a lot of work too, but what do you do here? You let the boss man go?
I don't think you let him go, but I don't know how long you'll fight him or how long you can fight him for. Cattell takes the lead and Smedegaard to second. Here's why this matters. Cattell leads and Rosenberg fourth. That puts Eric Cattell in the lead of the title race by 2 points.
Oh my goodness.
And Lena Chin back there in 5th. Look at Aaron Grimm also lingering in the background.
Yeah, we're still tight from 1st all the way back to 5th for the most part here. Everybody's in the shot still.
Working their way through turns 5 and 6 now, swinging back around to the far side of the racetrack. Andy Smedegaard now chasing down Eric Cattell. Andy was quicker than Eric in the previous race. I wonder if he's got a little bit of speed left to run down that 82.
Well, how does rewards weight play into this? I know that that's still a system in place. Are they matched in rewards weight? Is Eric carrying a little bit more? What are we looking at?
I think Eric will be a little bit more because you get 1 per win, but that's at the end of the weekend that will apply.
Oh, okay.
So Eric's carrying a bit more rewards weight than Andy. And Andy is closing in, isn't he?
Yeah, Andy's making a good run here out of 10. We don't see the back end of his car swinging out nearly as much, but man, is he deep on the brakes. He's been out-braking all weekend long. We've seen it in turn 8. He just carries a whole lot more speed into the corner, and that gives him a lot of opportunity to close up in 11 here.
Across the stripe there. Car length and a half.
Look at him close up into 1 here as well. And he still seems to maintain pace through the corners. So he just seems really hooked up right now.
Navigating through turn 4, or turn 3 rather, and Smedegaard still closing in. There's the timing and scoring, was hoping for it. And as we navigate through turn 4, look at Smedegaard now, 3 car lengths between them at closing.
Oh, he just slung it around turn 5. Really had some good slip angle there for Eric Cattell. 6 is a tricky one. See what kind of run they get out of here.
Oh, Andy dropped off the end of the curve there.
Now watch how he tightens up into turn 8 here. Under the brakes. Look at how he closes that distance. Now you'd normally expect kind of that accordion effect, so he close up real tight under the brakes, but then maybe space out as Eric gets onto the throttle before Andy is able to. But for some reason, he's just able to stick to his rear bumper that way.
Coming up around turn number 10. And Matt Walbaum, a distant memory there in the mirror of those front two. So here's the scenario. If Rosenberg were to catch Walbaum and grab 3rd place, it doesn't actually change the points at all. So as long as Cattill's out front, he would walk away as the championship leader there. But I'll bet you Andy Smedegard has got a real shot to unseat him here.
I don't think Andy cares about how Cattill's championship points are going this weekend right now. I think he wants this win.
Here's the gap, half a second across the line. With the purple lap there, he sees a little bit quicker.
Walbaum's putting on a pretty good spread to Rosenberg as well. I wonder if Rosenberg's just making sure that he brings the car home safe. Not these two in front, though. Just slinging it through turn 3, using all the track there.
Yeah, and Andy actually got left in the dust at turn 4 just a little bit. And I think Cattill just digging a little deeper to find some speed.
His tires do seem to last longer throughout the race here as well, which is kind of counterintuitive to what I would expect. But so far throughout this weekend, he's come on really strong towards the end of the race. So if he can keep this gap, he might outlast him on tires.
Yeah, that's the other consideration. The GT86.2, as Andy calls it, is about 300 pounds heavier than Eric's car. Eric tried to go to a heavier setup with a little extra power at Mid-Ohio, but that didn't really work out for him, so he went back to the lighter formula. Seems like a lot of drivers felt like the middle of the rules as far as the weight was sort of the the anti-Goldilocks spot. You want to be on either end, either really heavy or really light. And down into turn 11. Look at the gain on the brakes for Andy. Oh, look at that big slide. He is charging.
They're both using way more inside curve on 11 than we've seen throughout the weekend. So I wonder if that just means they're pushing, or if they've decided to try a new line, or if there's a little bit of lead follow happening there.
Yeah, again, maybe some target fixation. Look at the last lap delta. 1,000th between them last time around. 2/10 advantage to Cattill that time in defensive Andy. Again, Andy not really caring about the long-term implications of what's going on the track right now. Cattill is here for that championship trophy and the weekend trophy. And again, there's some drivers that could care less about the total of the points column at the end of the year. And there are others, that's all that drives them. Cattill, a 2020 champion in this series. The only 2-time champ is Jeremy Swenson, who's not running with us any longer. And it will be either Matan Rosenberg or Eric Cattill that will add themselves to that category this year when we finish up at Pittsburgh International Race Complex.
Pretty incredible to see returning veterans like that just able to stay on top of their game for that long. I know Cattill he's been in the mix every year since 2019. He's been so close. I think one of those championships that Jeremy got, Cattill was right there until that dreadful Road America situation.
Yeah, that was 2021. And in 2019, the first ever race at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for GLTC, Eric Cattill was the race winner by about this much over Aaron Lichty. He's still this many years into competition right up at the front, and Andy putting so much pressure on the back of the 82.
Andy's reminded him that the weekend is not over.
Well, it's not over until the checkered flag flies. Through turn 13 and 14. And coming across the start-finish line. What does Andy do now? Where do you find a little extra time? He's been really good on the brakes into turn 11, but hasn't been close enough to get overlap on him.
Yeah, I think you keep pressuring in the brakes, and you're just going to hope that Eric makes an uncharacteristic mistake for him right now. Eric is really setting up for a different line than what we see Andy do, and as long as the rear end of that car can stay planted for Andy, he can keep making that pressure on the brakes. If you're faster into the corner, you're generally a little bit slower out of the corner. So the approach there is definitely something about just creating pressure, not necessarily getting the better exit for right now.
Charging down into 6 and 7. Andy about 2.5 tenths quicker last time around the racetrack. Looking deeper in the field here. Here's Tony Marchette driving up through the field. Julio Crispin ahead of him. Rosenberg, here's your leaders again. Across the stripe this time. Andy lost a little ground to Catil.
Yeah, sometimes it's just about picking your moments. You get up real close, you make them nervous, you show them that you're there, and then maybe you back off a little bit. Give yourself some space, let the car cool a little bit, because you don't get as good a cooling when you're front, bumper to bumper like this. It's harder on the car. So if you get up there, show them that you're there, and then back off a little bit, give them a sense of confidence, and then attack later on the next lap.
Let's take a moment to appreciate the battles that these two have been in, really the last 5 races, because this goes back to Lime Rock Park where these two both passed Eric Magnuson on the outside of the uphill. That was a crazy move there. Catil came out on top of that fight. And 2 of the fights to start the weekend. Of course, Smedegard logged another win in the category earlier today and is trying to do that one more time. It's just going to be a mistake from somebody that will seal the deal on this.
Yeah, he really makes a lot of time from turn 8 through patience and out of 10.
And look at how close they are, within hundreds every lap. And Andy, again, doesn't seem to get out of turn 10 as well. Then thundering down the backstretch here. Look at him having a look at Catil, just trying to fade out of the rearview mirrors.
I'm still here. Catil, this is a big mental game. Oh, big slide again. He's using everything he can to stay on that back bumper through 11. But Catil to not be driving in the rearview mirror, when you've got somebody hounding you like this, that's a big mental game as he dips a wheel there, using it all.
One more lap. White flag is out. So they're going to have one last lap to do battle here. 0.027. Advantage for Catil over Smedegard as far as their lap times last time around. They are matched so evenly, but Smedegard will need just a little bit more.
I think the opportunity is going to come with the exit of turn 10. He closes the gap really well there. If he can get a good run out of 10 and be able to poke inside, get some overlap into 11, that's where I think this is going to happen.
And in the weekend points, this is going to probably seal the deal for Eric Catil to win on the weekend. Trudging through the far side of the course here. Andy Smedegard trying to pick up everything he can. A little far back for me here. I think he'll have to get desperate if he wants to try to spook Catil. But they've raced so respectfully so far.
They really have. That's a big gap. Andy taking a little bit shallower line. Catil squaring off that corner a little bit more.
Andy gained there into 9.
Andy again a little bit shallower on entry. That might be why his exit isn't quite as strong out of 10.
Eric Catil in the Hybridracing EG is on a championship hunt. He is desperately trying to close the gap to the C5 Corvettes that have plagued him in his championship hunts for so long. And he throws it down into 11, all the way to the edge of the racetrack, giving it everything he can. Andy Smedegard isn't going to do it, but Eric Catil is. 3 wins out of 4 races. He will retake the championship lead heading into the last 2 rounds of the season in 2025. And Eric Catil is back on top again.
What a phenomenal race. And my goodness, did they put a gap on Waldbaum and Rosenberg.
Yeah, you see that gap represented there this weekend. 97 points for Catil, 91 for Andy, 68 for Tom Rosenberg, who finishes 4th in this one. Leader Chin 60. Eric Grimm, top 5 on the weekend with 54 points. But for Eric Catil, doing everything he needs to do.
Let's go, man! 3 wins, baby! 3 wins! Dude, my brake pedal was getting real soft near the end of that race. Dude, it's fucking hot. Holy shit.
Dyno or no? No, dyno, baby. That's it. That's it. Ah! I got my ass swept up there.
Great battles all over the course, but it was once again the 82 and 212 that fought lap after lap. Smedegard throwing the car at the curbs, trying everything he could to carry speed. But in the end, Eric Catil in the Hybridracing EG, event after event, just trudging away, clipping every point he can off of the margin for the 484. And Eric Catil wins IBOC GLTC Race 4.
don't have a steering wheel, but it's okay. Watch it. Smile. Over here. Hold on. I can get out of the car in a second.